Dr. Debra. We are the pastors of Healing and Empowerment Ministries, which we just moved down here from Charlotte last year, so we brought it down here. And I myself am a spiritual counselor, a licensed counselor and healing and deliverance coach. And before I really get started, I'd like to share a story with you. It's not really a pretty story. In fact, it's a downright kind of ugly story, but it's a story that's happening all over the United States, not just here in Charlotte, but all over. In fact, it's happening all over the world. It's the story of an 8-year-old little girl who in the summer of her 8th birthday, she went through a tragic event. Her life was really changed at the hands of someone whom her parents trusted. So this wasn't stranger danger. At the hand of somebody whom her parents trusted. This little girl, she was molested. And for 5 long years, this little girl went through this, and she suffered through the silence of her secret. And I'm going to tell you, a secret is a hard thing for a child to bear.
Yes. Thank you, God.
And for that matter, for any of us to bear. But she did this until one day, that little girl got up the courage to go run and tell her daddy her story. Now before that, I was the one she told all her secrets to. I was the one who held her hand when she was afraid. And I was even the one who put my hand over her mouth when what she really wanted to do was to just scream out, "Somebody save me, somebody help me." Because you see, I know this little girl's story up close and personal. Because that little girl, she was me.
Thank you, God.
And now I'd like to tell you that once I told my dad that everything went back to so-called normal, but I would be lying to you and to me. Because you see, when something happens to you that's so traumatic that it actually changed your psyche, it changed what you think about yourself, that mental thing is a strong thing. You are absolutely right. Because see, sometimes we go through traumatic things, our brain actually changes. And it has you thinking things about yourself that just aren't true, because the devil is a liar.
Amen.
But it has you thinking things that I'm not worth anything. I ain't no more good. I'm ugly. See, because I was told that. You ugly, ain't nobody ever gonna want you anyway. Until finally you start to believe that stuff, and you have all these limiting beliefs, and you build up all these toxic emotions. I'm telling you, even unforgiveness is hard to bear.
Yes.
Sometimes I had to remember to be mad. You know, you find yourself being happy, and then you get upset about being happy because of what you went through. And so then you have to go back to, oh, I'm sad and I'm a victim. But you know what? One day I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I decided to do something about it. But before that happened, I got myself into some bad situations. One of those situations was something I went against what my mother asked me to do. See, I had been singing all my life. I was trained vocally, and I used to compete in school. Because see, music was what was soothing me. When I was hurting inside, I would sing. When I was feeling scared, I would sing. Even sometimes when the person who victimized me was coming to the room that I was in when I was at my aunt's house, coming to that room, I would just start singing. And I would sing inside. So I had gotten so used to singing that I started to compete, so I was pretty good. And so I told my mom I dropped out of college about 2 years in. So I dropped out of college, and guess what I was going to be? What do you think?
A singer.
A singer. I'm going to tell you. Those who want to find victims of trafficking, they look for places like that. So I got in my little beater of a car that I had gotten when I graduated from high school with honors and stuff, and I got in my little beater of a car, and I'm headed to a city. And I'm a little Wisconsin girl. I don't know nothing about no city, you know? But I got in my car, and I drove, and my mama cried the night I left. But I was going to be a singer, and I was going to be a star. And so I went to the city, and I got a job, and things were going good, not knowing all the time that somebody was watching me. I was in a city where I only knew one other person, and that one person had turned their backs on me. So therefore, I was by myself basically in a city. So I was working during the day, and then to make money at night, I was singing at a nightclub. I done so good at that nightclub, I was headlining at one time on Thursday nights. But I did not know that someone was watching me. And see, I know that families, parents, they tell your kids about stranger danger. But what do when the person who victimized you is somebody you know? I like what someone said earlier, the ones who, I think it was Mr. Romeo, you know, watching me sing. Ooh, you sure sound good. Sister, you sure sound good. You so beautiful. You so nice. And see you walking around broken inside, so you accept that. Somebody loves me and somebody think I'm beautiful. So he sat there and he watched me as I sung, and he had been there night after night. Every time I'm singing, it seems like he was there. Now, he may have been there other times too, but I know he was there when I sung. And he would make eye contact with me, leading me on, grooming me. They talk about how people get groomed when they're sexually abused. You can groom somebody to traffic them too. But he was grooming me, getting into my confidence, making me trust him. And so one night, I didn't have my car. My car was broken down, and that was the chance.
Yeah.
I can give you a ride home. So I wasn't aware. I didn't know. I was not being aware. I was not watching and looking. Had I noticed, had I been more aware, before I got in that car, I would have got that license plate. Before I got in that car. In fact, I probably wouldn't have gotten the car because he was shady in the first place. I see him talking to other women too, but I felt so good because he was handsome.
Oh, yeah, they cute
They sent
now.
the right one. I'm gonna tell you, they did. That boy, woo-wee, honey. All the girls in the club was trying to get that. And when everybody in the club getting tipsy, you know, everything started looking good. God saw, you know, we sitting over there saying fine. God saw crazy.
Yeah. Come on.
And if you listen to your instincts, God will tell you.
Yes, he will.
Don't you do that.
Don't,
Yes, he
don't
will.
do
But
it.
I ain't listen to my instincts. I ain't listen to my instinct. I knew better. I knew better than that. But I went on and I was like, look, y'all, he leave with me. You know, you ain't saying that, but you know
You
what
right.
think. He leave with me. I'm leaving with him. I got him. Y'all wanted it, but I got him. So he got me in the car. And we started driving. I didn't know my way around the city too much. I knew my way to my jobs and to my home. Stayed to myself. So when he started driving, I did know, wait a minute, I'm going on no highway to get home, do I? We started going on the highway, and I got a little scared. And I started trying to think. Then I couldn't think, see? Didn't know no license plate number. Probably don't even know the dude's real name, for real. Bobo, something like that. Jimmy Lee, call me Big Bob. You know, you gotta start getting these people's names. Just call me Big Bob on on the job, or something like that, you know, sounding cool. And then I started to think, and all the things that my mother had told me started coming back to me now. And he drove, and we got to a side of town that I didn't recognize. And so we get out, and I didn't want to get out the car, and I wanted to scream, but it looked like some people around worse than he was. So now I'm real scared. Like, how many of these people know him? And how many people, now I'm just me. And so he took me to a building that was about 3 stories tall, but it had bars on the window.
Jesus.
Now I'm looking like, what is this? He said, oh, it's okay. We just gonna stop by my house for just a minute, and then I'm gonna take you home. I sure like you, girl. Right now, I ain't care whether he like me or not. I'm ready to go home. You know, this thing ain't turning out too good. But he took me into the apartment building, and we went to the 3rd floor, left side apartment. I always remember it's 2 apartments on each. I'm noticing things. Okay, 2 apartments on each side. I walked through the front door, 2 apartments on each side, go up the stairs, and then he turned left, and we went to the apartment on the left side. And he took me in. When I walked in the door, there was no light, but you could see from the light coming in from the window. And there was only a couch in the living room. Who lives here with nothing? Oh, this is just my pad. You know, you can go, have a seat, I'm gonna make you a drink. Now, Mama did tell me don't take no drink from nobody. I knew that about in the club. I wasn't a drinker anyway. But he said, no, you're gonna drink this. Now what you do? But you gonna drink. I said, but you already know I don't drink, but you gonna drink this. And so I took a
That's
some
it.
of the drink. Go on, drink up. And so I did the only thing that I could do. I drank it. And when I woke up later that evening, I'm thinking later that evening, I was in a bedroom with only a dirty mattress on the floor.
Jesus Christ.
So now what do I do? So he kept me for 3 days. Now I'm thinking, nothing has happened to me. I will say, I believe that the angels took care of me because he never touched me sexually. Now, I was told later that the reason why is because he didn't want to mar me because I wasn't sexually active. I could bring a better price. But evidently, I wasn't what the people were looking for. I was an overweight black girl.
Thank you, God.
Thank you, God.
That's right.
Only time I was like a little happy, I was like, woo, all right, that fat served something. But I was never what somebody was looking for. So every time he brought somebody in, I'm not what they're looking for.
Amen.
So I was not touched. But he kept me locked in. And I do believe that somebody else was in there, but I guess we all was scared to say anything. But I was in a room by myself. And finally, one night, I would hear the front door had a double deadbolt, but not because I saw it, but because I started listening. I could hear. But one night, when he got ready to go back over to the club where he picked me up, where he grooming other people probably, I didn't hear the door click. Not the inside. And I was like, ooh, I think he forgot to lock the door. And so I was so scared, I laid there for a long time. Now, some people probably say, why don't you just jump up and leave? But what if it was a trick? And he was trying to see if I was going to try to leave. So I laid there, and finally, in my mind, I believe the Holy Spirit told me, go.
Get up.
Go right now.
Go.
Get up and go. And I got up. I had nothing. I don't take money to the club, just enough, in my private pocket
Yep.
to do what I got to do. So that was gone for the night. So I got up and I opened the door and it opened. And I remember, run down, turn right, because you turn left to come in, turn right, run down the stairs. When you get to the next stairs, turn right, turn right. So everything started coming back to me, turn right. And out the front door I went. And now I'm in a city, in an area with just so much going on. Don't know where I am. But you know what? I was told again, run to the lights. Because I know the city is that way, some's that way. Run to the light. So that's what I did. I ran to the light. Sometimes I got tired. Now, I don't know how this little fat girl was running so fast, but I was running. I was gone. I wanted to get as far away as I can before he knew that I was gone. Pretty soon, I got to where there was more light, and I saw a subway stop. They call it subway, metro, whatever, but I saw it. And I got there, and I had to panhandle because I wanted to get home. So I had to ask people, could you give me enough money just so I could, get on the train? That's all I want to do. And God sent a blessing.
You will.
Because most people didn't answer me. Most people, went along their way. And I can understand that. They didn't know who I was. But somebody said, yes, you can come on with me. And they used their card, and I came in with them. And I knew my way home because I know my subway stop. So people say, what did you do then? Did you turn them in? I actually didn't. Because back then, I didn't even know what that was called. Boyfriend gone wrong? It didn't have a name then.
Yeah.
It didn't have a name back then. Nobody had ever warned me of that. That somebody that you attracted to, they're attracted to you. You know them now. They're not stranger danger.
Yeah.
That they can take you to and do some things with you. But what I did do, I went into work. I had missed a day of work. He took me on a Thursday. I escaped on Sunday night. I went to work on Monday morning, picked up my paycheck, went and cashed my paycheck, and I got on the next bus home. Left my car and everything. Took what I could take in the plastic grocery bag. I got on the Greyhound, and I went home. But I share this story with you because for a long time, I carried around the pain of those things that had happened to me, thinking that this was my life and this is how my life is going to be lived, that it was never going to be better. My mental and emotional capacities were all messed up. I was carrying around toxic emotions, limiting beliefs about myself. And we do this. They don't have to be the experience. Domestic violence can take you there. Many other traumatic experiences can take you there. But we have to get to the point where we say enough is enough now.
Yes.
And we have to be willing to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps so that we can get ourselves together. And that's what I do today as a counselor and healing and deliverance coach. Because once I had found my way to being free and getting free from the toxic emotions that had me bound and led me into negative situations, I said, I got to go back and get somebody else. My mission became that of like Harriet Tubman. I can't just get my freedom. I got to go back, and I got to bring somebody else.
Amen.
Amen. Yeah.
So that's what I do. Some to help other people find their freedom. So today I partner with other organizations. I come in and I speak and I teach different techniques that help you to deal with your stress and limiting beliefs and the just the bad feelings you have inside. And then I help you to get better so that you can then go and help somebody else.
Amen.
My name is Dr. Debra Dunston, better known as Dr. Debra, and I am your healing and deliverance coach. And I thank you.
Thank you.